Alright guys, welcome back to the 10 Talk Show. My name is Muhammad Ali, and in this video, we're going to talk about how there's a spike in racial abuse incidents in the new 24-25 season. Dani Alves have been acquitted of all charges of rape and sexual assault from his case from 2 years ago. Let's get into it. So in the new 25-26 season, we've already had twice as many racial abuse incidents as we did last season in 24-25. The Premier League season, just 30 minutes into it, had its first racial abuse incident with Antoine Semenyo of Bournemouth against Liverpool. And those incidents have only increased. And we're talking about Europe and England. These are supposed to be the pinnacle of Western civilization. But in 2025, in football of all games, where equality of players, equality of everybody is celebrated and is sort of part of the identity of the game. And here we see in Germany, Italy, Spain, these top Western nations having racial abuse incidents. Schalke midfielder Christopher Antwi Adige in the German Cup, I think, faced racial abuse incidents. In Italy, Juventus, one of the biggest teams in the world, the US player Weston McKennie was racially abused during a warm-down session. In Spain, police on Wednesday arrested a spectator accused of making monkey noises at Kylian Mbappe, and this happened around 24th August. And what's shocking to see is that it's happening in 2025 in football of all games, and in Spain, Germany, France, Italy, these highly civilized nations having incidents of monkey noises being shouted at black players is absolutely ridiculous. And UEFA and FIFA, who have always been very vocal in terms of fighting racism within the game, are under pressure because people think that they should be doing more. Now, I don't know what doing more should look like. I don't think if prosecution of these people would be the right way of doing things. Definitely, lifetime bans from stadiums of all competitions should definitely be implied and enforced on any incidents that take place in the beautiful game. And obviously in football, there is no place for such incidents, and FIFA and UEFA should take some measures to address that. Now, Dani Alves, one of the most successful players in the history of football in terms of trophies and success, have been acquitted of all charges of rape and sexual assault from his case from 2 years ago. Easily one of the best right backs of all time, which would have been his legacy, but that was spoiled because of a case that was thrown at him that took his life away. Dani Alves has been in jail for 2 years for false charges of rape and sexual assault. Legacy destroyed, money gone, everything that this player had sort of built was taken away from him based on false charges. And this is not the first time. Benjamin Mendy of Manchester City, who was in the peak of his career, 23, 24 years old, his entire life was derailed because of a false case that came into play, took his entire career away, took his money away, took his reputation away, only to be acquitted of all charges and being pronounced innocent. We have the Thomas Partey case going on, even though that one has been adjourned now to 26 November. His charges occurred in 21-22 and were brought forward to the police in 24-25, 3-4 years later. Now, I could be wrong on this, but I think 2 or 3 of those charges 2 years away are from the same women. That means that in 2021 and then in 2022, the charges were brought by the same woman. So that means that she first got assaulted and then she was cool with it, and then in 2022 she got assaulted again and then she was not cool with it, and then 3 years later she brings it to the police and all. We remember the case of Ashraf Hakimi when his ex-wife broke up with him, only to find out that everything that he owned was in his mother's name and she couldn't get a dime out of his fortune. Now, I am of the belief that if you are guilty of rape or sexual assault, you should be dealt with in the worst way possible, with the harshest of the harshest sentences. But if you have made a false accusation of rape and sexual assault, then it's important that that person or individual should also be dealt with very harshly and be given a very strict and tough sentence to reduce the amount of fake allegations being made at individuals at the height of their careers just to derail them for a quick buck.